Shalom. Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem B'Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to the icon that's pushing his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Alright, this is the brother Zayon Amath. Alright, for the GMS Detroit by account. Once again, come to you, through the spirit, do another video dealing with today. I'm going to be dealing with basically Esau. Alright. More so going into Revelation, the 13th chapter, dealing with the leopard. Alright, and what the leopard representing Esau, or the Greek kingdom. Alright. As to, out of all animals that the Lord could have picked, why did the Lord, use the leopard as representation of Esau, the so-called white man today? Alright, there's a reason. It's a spiritual reason. Alright. So, no further ado, I'm gonna try to hit the points, and Lord willing, this will be edifying. But this is Revelation 13. Start at the first verse. It says, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea." Now, when it goes into these prophecies dealing with the different kingdoms, all right, the word beast is synonymous with kingdom. All right, you can read that in I think it's Daniel, the 7th chapter. Let's get it real quick. Daniel 7. This is Daniel 7 and 23. Thus he said, "The fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth." To show that the word beast, alright, it's representation of a kingdom, alright? So that's that. It's going back to Revelation 13. Alright, back at the top. "And I stood upon the center of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horn 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy." Right, basically those 7 heads are dealing with the 7 Edomite kingdoms. All right, going back to Germania Major, Germania Minor, the French, the Spanish. Who else? The Greeks and the Romans. All right, I believe that was 7. So, if I left anybody out, but it's basically dealing with those 7 Edomite, rulerships. All right. It says, "And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard." Alright, so I want to deal with this point here. Because, see, when you read this, when you go back, in fact, to, I want to say Daniel, the 2nd chapter, where it breaks down the kingdoms. Alright, just like the Most High is doing here at Revelation. Alright, the Most High the Most High breaks down his word in similitudes or allegories, parables, right? So he'll use, things to things where things like animals. He'll compare. Hell, we're known as sheep. According to the Most High, we're the Most High sheep. All right, which that's spiritual in itself. But deal with the leopard. All right, when you go back to Daniel, the 2nd chapter. Let's see. What's it, Daniel 7? Salaki is actually Daniel's. I said 7. I went to 2, Salaki was 7. Alright. Real quick, this is Daniel 7, and I started 2. Then spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea, and four beasts, right? As we know, these beasts represents kingdoms, right? Came out from the sea, diverse one from another. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings, and it's like I beheld till the wings thereof are plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth. It made stand upon the feet as a man, and as a man's heart was given to it. Right, dealing with the Assyrian Babylonian captivity. Alright. It started out, I believe, as the Assyrians, but as it said, the wings were plucked up because Babylon, or the Chaldees, they took over in their stead. So going to verse 5, it says, and beheld another beast, a second like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh. Alright, which is dealing with the Persians and the Medes. Alright. The 3 ribs in the mouth represent Babylon, Libya, and Egypt. Alright. Maybe the Lord would in another video will break this down even more, but I'm just hinging upon the leopard, dealing with the Greek rulership. Alright. This is verse 6. And after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of fowl, and the beast also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. Okay. So we see in the Old and New Testament, the Most High used a leopard as a representation, right, of the Greek captivity. And now, why is that? Real quick, just a precept off of that. All right, this is Job 12, kind of 12 and 7. It says, but ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee. Kind of meaning, look at nature itself, right? And you can get a lot of wisdom from looking at so-called wildlife, looking at the animals and how they conduct themselves in the wild or whatnot, because the Most High, many a times over, he uses, like I say, he uses animals as reputations of of nations, kingdoms, so on and so forth. Alright, so I have found this, just perusing through the internet, because it was in my mind, like, out of all animals, why did the Most High use a leopard? Like, why is that? Now we know that basically Alexander, the so-called Great, alright, he was basically the pivotal, or the main character that ushered in the Greek kingdom. Alright, it was by him that he took over the so-called Middle East, in the known world at that time. Alright, but dealing with the leopard, alright, it says leopards are part of the cat family. Alright, so Felidae, alright, the scientific name for a leopard is Panthera pardus. Okay. Just to jump down, hit the point, it says the lifespan of a leopard is between 12 and 17 years in the wild, and up to 23 years in captivity. So, that hit me, said, and this is the point, the lifespan of a leopard is between 12 and 17 years. Now, what does that sound like? Right? That sounds like Maccabees, the first chapter. Alright? So this is Maccabees. This is Maccabees 1. Start at the top. Alright, Maccabees 1 and 1. And it happened after that, Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greeks, right? Like I said, he was the first, right, to bring the Greek kingdom into rulership, right? It says, and made many wars and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up. You see, and he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings, and who became tributaries unto him. Right? Who became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick, and perceived he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had him brought up, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years, and then died. Now go back, right? Dealing with the leper, as we know, the leper is the Greek captivity, and Alexander, all right, was the chief character to bring in the Greek captivity, representing the leper. All right, it says the lifespan of a leper is between 12 and 17 years. Right? Now, how ironic, all right, that Alexander the Greek, took basically the world by storm, all right, in 12 years, and he died right thereafter. All right, let you know, hey, the Bible is a spiritual book, man. And the Most High got this. He got this thing pegged out. He got this thing all figured out. All right, from the beginning. All right. So no one can gainsay and say that the Bible is not real. That it's not true. All right. Going back, it says lepers are well known for. Let me jump down. Say lepers are most nocturnal, hunting prey at night. Alright? Lepers are carnivores, but they aren't picky eaters. Let's see. Here's another point. It says leopard cubs are born blind and are completely dependent on their mothers. Their eyes begin to open after 10 or more days, and of the first few months, their eyes are bright blue. Now, as we all know, one key attributes of the so-called white man is him having blue eyes, right? Because why his genes are recessive, all right? I.e., the pale skin, right, or red skin, all right? His body can't create melanin, all right? It cannot create color, if you will, all right? And a lot of so-called white people, so-called or Edomites, as they're called by the Bible, all right, their eyes come out blue, to the point, hey, we call them blue-eyed devil, So I thought that was interesting. There was one more point. trees even when carrying heavy prey. I'd often choose to rest on tree branches during the day. One reason why leopards sometimes take their prey up in the trees is to ensure lions and hyenas can't steal them. Okay. Yeah, I had it here. I cannot find it. On this page or not. Well, so that's essentially the point. There was one more other point I was trying to find, but I can't get it. But anyhow, just to touch base on how, real quick, how Esau, right? The scriptures are on point. With Esau going, being represented as the leopard, which in turn represents the Greek kingdom, right? The Most High knew the whole time why he used that animal, right, as a spiritual representation of Esau. Because, hey, the Most High, he's the creator of everything, So, hey, Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Give honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. Peace and salutations to the icon that's pushing his word and truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom.